If you're Gen Z, you probably won't watch this till the end as this video might test your attention span. Stay anyway. Let's break down Gen Z psychology. Number 1. Emotionally aware but emotionally exhausted. You are one of the most emotionally aware generations we've ever seen. You don't just feel things, you understand what those feelings are called. Anxiety, burnout, trauma, boundaries, you can name it all. You can diagnose a toxic relationship from a single text screenshot. You understand why you react the way you do. You've done the work, read the threads, watch the therapy talks. You're more emotionally intelligent at 22 than most people are at 50, but there's a quiet cost to it. When you're constantly checking in with your emotions, analyzing every reaction, questioning why you feel the way you feel, your mind never really gets to rest. The awareness that was supposed to heal you became another thing to manage. You know exactly what's wrong. You just don't have the energy left to fix it. Older generations were taught to ignore their feelings and push through. You were taught to understand and process them, but no one taught you when to stop processing. From a psychological perspective, when emotional awareness grows faster than emotional regulation, the brain stays in alert mode. Rest feels unproductive, calm feels unfamiliar, even happiness can feel temporary, like it needs to be questioned. That's why Gen Z often feels tired without doing much physically. The exhaustion isn't in the body, it's in the mind. And that's okay, it just means you care more than most, and caring takes energy. Number 2, the fear of being average. This one's uncomfortable. You're terrified of living a life that doesn't matter. A normal job sounds like failure. Because you've been watching people become famous for absolutely nothing your entire life. You've seen 17-year-olds become millionaires. You've watched people your age build empires from their bedrooms. You grew up watching success happen fast and out loud. One viral moment, one lucky break, and suddenly normal started feeling like failure. Even when you're doing okay, there's a quiet pressure telling you it's not enough. You don't just want stability, you want meaning, impact, and some proof that your life actually matters. And that fear runs deep. It's not about ego, it's about being invisible. Being average feels scary because average feels unseen. Social media didn't create this fear, but it made it louder. When you're constantly surrounded by highlight reels, your own progress starts feeling slow, even when it isn't. Psychologically, this keeps you anxious, impatient, and overly self-critical. You're not lazy or unrealistic. You're just afraid of waking up one day and realizing you lived a life no one noticed, not even you. Number 3. You're burned out before life even begins. You're 25 and you're tired, not sleepy. Tired, bone-deep, soul-level exhaustion. You haven't even started your career, built your life, done the things you're supposed to do. And you're already running on empty. This isn't laziness. This is what happens when you're asked to build a future in a world that feels like it's ending. Climate anxiety, economic collapse, political chaos, social pressure, academic pressure. Aesthetic pressure. You're supposed to have a career and a side hustle and a personal brand and a perfect body and good mental health and an active social life and a savings account and a purpose and a plan. And you're supposed to do it all while the world burns and everyone tells you it's your fault for not recycling enough. You didn't get to be young in the way previous generations were. You got thrown into adulthood with no safety net and told to figure it out while also saving the planet. So yes, you're tired. You're tired before life even begins because you've been carrying the weight of everything since you were old enough to understand what was happening. And that exhaustion isn't a phase. It's the defining psychological reality of your generation. You're not giving up. You're just trying to survive a world that demands everything and promises nothing. Number 4, chronically online mind. Short attention span, overstimulation, can't focus, can't sit still, can't watch a movie without scrolling. You've heard it all, but here's what's actually happening. Your brain's reward system has been completely hijacked. Every notification, every like, every new video triggers a tiny hit of dopamine. Your brain learned to expect constant stimulation because that's the environment it developed in. This isn't a character flaw, it's neurology. You're not weak-willed. You're operating in a world designed to addict you, and your brain built itself around that reality. The part of your brain that's supposed to regulate focus and filter distractions never got a chance to develop in silence. It grew up in chaos, which means sitting with boredom feels physically painful now, not uncomfortable, painful. Your brain literally doesn't know what to do with emptiness anymore. And every time you try to disconnect, you're not just fighting habit. You're fighting the fundamental wiring of your nervous system. The internet didn't change how you use your brain. It changed how your brain built itself. Number 5. You've rejected traditional success, but you're terrified anyway. 9 to 5 sounds like a prison sentence. Climbing the corporate ladder feels like selling your soul. You want purpose over paychecks, freedom over stability. You've seen your parents work themselves to exhaustion for companies that fired them without hesitation. So you're opting out, choosing passion, building something that matters, but here's the internal conflict. You also want security. You're drowning in student debt, or living with your parents, or working 3 gigs to survive. And part of you wonders if you're just failing at the traditional path and calling it a choice. You're rejecting the system while secretly terrified you're just not good enough to succeed in it. This isn't hypocrisy. It's the psychological cost of being the first generation to question whether the game is even worth playing. You want freedom and stability, purpose and money, independence and safety, and the world keeps telling you that you can't have both. So you're stuck in this exhausting limbo, trying to build a life that feels meaningful while also just trying to pay rent. And every time you choose passion over security, there's a voice asking if you're brave or just naive. Number 6. Dark humor is your emotional armor. You joke about being depressed, about burnout, about wanting to disappear. And older generations think you're being dramatic or attention-seeking, but you're not, you're coping. Dark humor isn't a red flag for Gen Z, it's a release valve. You laugh first so you don't have to explain the pain later. Psychologically, this is called defensive humor, and it's one of the healthiest coping mechanisms humans have. When reality is overwhelming, humor creates distance. It lets you acknowledge the darkness without drowning in it. The joke isn't that you're suicidal. The joke is that existence is absurd and you're still here anyway. It's not that you don't take your mental health seriously. It's that taking it seriously all the time would break you. So you laugh. You meme your trauma, you turn your anxiety into content. And people who don't understand think you're making light of serious issues. But you're not, you're making survival bearable. Number 7. Commitment feels impossible. Jobs. Relationships, plans, anything that requires you to choose one path and close the others. You can't do it, not because you're flaky or immature, because commitment means accepting that something better isn't coming. And your brain has been trained to believe something better is always one scroll away. This is the paradox of choice again, but deeper. It's not just about having options, it's about FOMO turned into a psychological condition. What if you choose this job and miss the perfect opportunity? What if you commit to this person and your soulmate was 3 swipes away? What if you pick this path and realize too late it was the wrong one? Older generations call this keeping your options open. But for you, it's an anxiety disorder, because the options never stop. There's no moment where the choices run out and you can finally relax into a decision. Every commitment is haunted by the ghost of what you're giving up. So you stay in the in-between, not because you don't know what you want, because choosing means admitting you'll never know what the other choices would have felt like. I'll be sharing more videos like this on emotional growth, psychology, and self-understanding. Subscribe if this content resonates with you.